Hello, everybody. We're going to go live on TikTok and on Facebook. Hello, guys. How are ya? It's Jenny. We're going to make some shortbread Valentine's cookies today. So it's a simple recipe. Oh, let me get my heart. It's a simple recipe. Just 4 ingredients basically. So, and then I'm going to do something different for the top. I make my own homemade strawberry crunch. So I'm going to make like an icing to go on top, and then I'm going to put the strawberry crunch on top of the cookie. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Actually, I think I'm going to pour some in this. So you can make this strawberry crunch, and then once you bake it, you let it cool, and I just keep it in a jar and I keep it. So it's good for a long time because you bake it, and it's just like crumbs. Hello, everybody. So this is a basic shortbread cookie recipe. It's 4 ingredients, that's it. So you need a cup of salted butter. I have that. Usually, you have to, when you make a shortbread cookie, you have to have real butter, real good butter. You want good butter for a shortbread cookie. And then you're going to need 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla. And then 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Hey, Chrissy, how are ya? And so that's all the ingredients that you're going to need for a shortbread cookie. Like I said, they're simple, they're easy to do. And then once you get them mixed up, you roll the dough in between 2 pieces of parchment paper. You can cut them out however you want. You can do hearts, you can do round, you can do whatever you want to do. They're almost like a sugar cookie, but they're shortbread. Shortbread has a different taste than a sugar cookie. Probably because in a sugar cookie, you have butter, you have eggs, you have all the other ingredients. This one here, you have 4 ingredients. The flour, the butter, the powdered sugar, and the vanilla. That's it. I'm going to take a sip. And if my friend's on Facebook, today's her birthday. I went to high school with her. Karen McQuality, happy birthday. If you're out there in Facebook land, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Okay, so you need 1 cup of salted butter. So in these go in the mixer. Can everybody see me over here? Or do I need to turn you? Let me turn you. All right. You see me now? Yeah. So a cup of butter. And you want to put your butter, your powdered sugar, which is 3/4 of a cup, and your vanilla. And your vanilla is a 1/2 teaspoon. Like I said, hi Megan, how are you? This is a homemade vanilla, and we will make the liquid on here. It has to set for a year if you want to make it. I did make the vanilla bean paste, and I do use it a lot, but I don't want to use it in my shortbread cookies because I want the liquid. Okay, so we have a cup of butter, salted butter, 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, and we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to give a little extra for goodness. Just a little. And then you want that to, I'm going to start it on slow. And you're going to, once it starts to incorporate, we're going to, hi Julie. Once it starts to incorporate, I'm going to pick it up a little bit, and then we're going to let that beat for 1 to 2 minutes on high and let it get fluffy. Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes. Okay, so I have that on speed 4. We're going to let it go for 2 minutes. How's everybody's weather in your town? Hi, Belinda. We're going to get up to 53 here today in Myrtle Beach, so it's going to be really nice. And the sun's out, so it always makes it nice when the sun's out. Let me grab my sheet pan. I have my sheet pans lined with parchment. I'm just going to stick those right there. And then I also have, I have 2 pieces of parchment paper cut out for the counter here, because you're going to roll your dough in between the parchment. So that it's getting nice and fluffy. So whenever that's done, I'm going to scrape the bowl down. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Okay. Got it. All right. It was saying something about my internet. Once this goes off in 24 seconds, you need to scrape the bowl down. Hi, Thomas. Hi, Tanya. We're going to scrape the bowl down, and then we're going to add in the 2 cups of flour. So you need to scrape it down because your butter and your powdered sugar and your vanilla is like really fluffy, and it's like splattered on the side of your bowl. So you want to scrape it down so it's not like that. Alexa, stop. So I'm going to scrape this down. Now, if you don't have, I'm going to turn this a little bit. If you don't have salted butter, and you have unsalted butter, you can still do it. You just need to add a 4th. If you have no salted butter, if you have unsalted butter, you can still make this. You just need to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt into your butter mixture. Okay. So now we're going to add the 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to bring that off because I do not want to mess. All right. Put this back on. Then we're going to let it mix until it gets like a little crumbly. Once it gets crumbly, we're going to take it off and we'll stop, and then we'll squish it by hand. I'm going to take these rings off. So you don't want to kick it up on high because you want your dough. Let me get rid of this, guys. You want your dough to look like this. Can you see it? It's like crumbly in there. Let me turn you guys. There. So you want your dough to look like this. Hi, my brother. How are you? Anthony. So you want your dough to look crumbly because you're going to get in there with your hands. You're going to use what God gave you, and that's your hands. You're going to get in there and you're going to scrape this off with your finger. Get it all in there. Scrape this off. Okay, so that's pretty clean. In the sink that goes. Okay, so then you're going to get your hand in there and you're going to do the rest of it by hand until you start filling it to come together. Okay. Let me get a piece of parchment. Just lay a piece of parchment on your counter. There's our dough. Now I'm going to scrape this out. I'm going to try to get as much as I can. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this away. So there's your shortbread dough. I'm going to incorporate it a little bit more with my hands. And then when we go to roll it between, clear your fingers off. It's fine if you get a little messy. You're going to get messy, you're baking. Just rub your hands together. Now, you want them between a 1/2 inch and 1/3 of an inch when you roll these out. All right, let's get some flour. So you want to coat this with flour. So your butter cookies, shortbread butter cookies, are completely different than a sugar cookie. And that's because of the ingredients, okay? Put your other piece of paper on top. Then use your rolling pin. I like to get it like there. Your stomach helps hold your, it helps hold it. So you're not sliding around. Turn it. Once you get it rolled out, it'll pretty much stay. You just got to get it rolled out, that's all. We might need some more flour, so let's take a peek. Nope, I think we're doing good. Well, we'll put a little bit there. We don't want it sticking. All right. I think we got it to where I want. It might be a little thin on the outer edge, but it's okay. I had a friend down here from Boone. She was visiting next door. See, I got a little bit on my parchment. But that's okay, we can scrape it off and recombine it in here whenever we go to. Okay, so it's a little bit thinner than what I wanted, so you're just going to take your hand and kind of push it. Okay, so I got this size of a heart cutter, and this is the one we're going to use. And I'm just going to make some cuts. So if you're just getting on here, we're making shortbread cookies is what we're making. It's 4 ingredients. It's a cup of salted butter, 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You beat your butter, your powdered sugar, and vanilla first for 2 minutes. Scrape it down. Then add your all-purpose flour. If you don't have salted butter, you can use unsalted butter. You just need to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to your recipe. All right, let me get my little lifter. That's what I want. We're going to get these lifted up here. Here they are. Hello, everybody. Now, it says you can space these 1.5 inches apart from each other. So shortbread's not gonna, it should pretty much stay the way you have it rolled out. It should pretty much stay that way, okay? I couldn't decide what I wanted to do today. I was going to do pies, like a heart-shaped pie, and make some strawberry filling for the center. And my husband's like, a pie? I'm like, yeah, why not? Why not? I have my infusion on Tuesday, so I'm making a bunch of different things so I can take to the girls at the infusion center. And then my granddaughters will be here today, our 20s. They will be here later on. And usually when they walk in the door, they say, "Nay, what do you got? Have you been baking?" So they'll go look. Now I'm going to do one more over here, but this side over here kind of looked a little thinner than what I wanted. So then you're just going to ball it back up, and I need 2 more before we can go in the oven. You might be able to get one out of here. Hey, bud, can you check my Facebook? It says I'm on live, but it doesn't seem like it's generating. Okay, thank you. I'm telling you, I gotta get used to this stuff. Hi, April. Okay. I need 1 more cookie, and then we're gonna put them in. So your oven needs to be set at 325 for 12 to 15 minutes. So we're gonna set it at 12, and we're gonna see. We'll see. And then I'm gonna cut this in half. We're only gonna do half at a time. All right. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on here. And I want to scrape this off, get this dough off here. All right. And then you're going to roll it in between the parchment paper. Now, you don't have to throw this parchment paper away when you're done. You can keep it in use it for cookies or whatever, because this is just, it's not like a peanut butter cookie. So you can reuse this to bake cookies on. No sense of wasting. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll get these in the oven. And like I said, I'm gonna do it for 12 minutes at the start at 325, and we're gonna see what they look like. And then we'll roll out some more, and then we'll go to making the, so I got a dozen on here. So in the oven they go. Alexa, set the oven or set the timer for 12 minutes. Set the oven.
12 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so let's roll these. I'm gonna roll these out again, just because we have time. Hello, Jackie. Hi, honey. How are you? When you get your dough like that and you have like little particles, just go along and pick it up with your dough. It's fine. And we might as well just roll out the whole big thing. So just push it all together and work it with your hands. Like I said, pick up all your dough. And then sprinkle with flour. Flour is your friend. Flour is your friend. A little on top. Little dabble do ya. Back with your top sheet. Let's put these over there. All right. Now, somebody asked me if you could roll these out on a silicone mat. No, they will stick. You don't. I got flour on my nose. They will stick, so you do not want to put it on a silicone mat. At least when I have made them before, they will stick. Parchment, you're good. You're good with parchment. So I'm not really sure how many this is going to yield. We should at least get 24, I'm thinking. And if we had a little extra left over, I have a smaller heart cutter, so we'll just, I'm not wanting to waste. So I have sent a lot of Amazon packages before, and today I sent one to my grandson. I sent him a package, and Amazon sent me a thing to where you could watch the whole delivery. I was shocked. I was amused. So I got to watch it from the time it left the facility till the time it reached his college. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go back and cut hearts. More hearts. Everything's about hearts right now. I'm sure when the girls get here tonight, Aubriella will say, May, can we make something? And I need to make more sugar cookies because I might just make them after I get off here. Because I had a whole batch of them, but they're gone. So, and my husband says, I gave the recipe on here, It's a one-stop shop. You just put everything in the bowl at once. And he was like, you better make sure you have that recipe. I said, I do. I shared it with everybody on Facebook and TikTok. So if you were lucky enough to get that recipe, I did look it up. It was my grandmother's. She's no longer here. So if you're lucky enough to have gotten that recipe, I hope you guys make them and enjoy them, because I think you will enjoy them. You know, like I said, back in the older days, they didn't have a lot of stuff that we have right now. So they had to use everything that they had in their pantries, and everything was done with their hands. And for them to add an ingredient and then add another ingredient, I guess it would have just been harder on their hands. So a lot of my recipes that I have from my grandma that are cookies, they're like, put everything in the bowl and go. And here's an awful mess today. I am just so glad that it is not cold here anymore. And to all our Pennsylvania friends, I guess Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow. That's awful for you guys. My sister said to me, did you know each state has their own groundhog? I said, no, I didn't know that, but I'm sure they all do. I said, well, Punxsutawney Phil is the #1 procrastinator, however you say it. So, he says 6 more weeks. I'm hoping for our temperatures to go up, 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 up. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4 more for a dozen. And I don't think I'm going to get, let me see here. Nope, ain't happening. That's okay. Not happening. Sometimes you can squeeze it, not that time. I don't see anybody on Facebook today. Or if they are on there, it's not coming across. My comments sometimes aren't working on Facebook. I don't know if it's something new that they're doing, or it was like when I did them with my phone, I could see them, but now that I don't, I can't see them. Hi, Mills family. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, that worked out pretty good. Let's see. Oh, we can squeeze it. We did it. So we have a little bit of dough left, not much. We might be able to get 1 cookie out of it. We'll see. I don't like to waste. All right. So my husband and I are going on, this hair is just bugging me. We're going on our first ever cruise, and I'm really nervous about that. I'm afraid I'm going to get seasick. Has anybody went on a cruise and gotten seasick? My doctor ordered me pills, or not pills, patches. And I guess you put a patch on every third day, is what the directions say. But I'm still a little uneasy about it. Hello, everybody. I'm going to try to get one more cookie out of this little vlog here. So yeah, we're going on our first cruise. We have been asked multiple times to go on a cruise. And every time we were asked, I would say, no, I don't want to. No, I don't want to. And so this time, my husband said, let's just try it. It's a 5-day cruise. I wish it was only like 3-day cruise, because if I don't like it, I could get off, but I'm not going to be able to get off because we're going to be stuck on it. Hello, everybody out in TikTok land. We're making shortbread cookies. Okay, so we got 2 extra. And we have this little tiny bit left. So we ended up with 26 out of that batch. So you just have like a marble left. I am going to bake it, only because why not? Don't throw it away. It's going to be a little cookie, but that's okay. It's all right. Somebody will eat it. Probably one of my grandkids. So I'm going to see if I can't squeeze these 2 cookies on this pan without them. I'm going to try. So I'll put this one here. Well, actually we have 3. We have this little dot. I'm going to push this one up, and that one up. And we're going to put this one backwards as well. And then this one right here. So we ended up with 26 hearts and then the little disc. That's what we ended up with. I'm going to set that over here while these ones are baking. And I'm going to clean up this mess. See, everything pretty much come off your parchment. So you can use this to bake something on. You don't want to throw it away. Alexa, stop the timer. All right, let's check these and see if they're done. Alexa, stop. Now that was 12 minutes, so let's take a peek here. You just want these lightly on the bottom. Just like that. Just that lightly coating. All right, Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. So with shortbread cookies,
2 minutes.
I know I lifted that up, but I wanted you guys to see it. You need to let them sit on your baking pan for at least 2 minutes when you pull them out. Then you can transfer them to your wire rack. I will just take the parchment off here and slide it onto my rack over here is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to set this here. And then we're going to put this one in the oven for 12 minutes. Alexa, set the timer for 12 minutes. A second timer.
Second timer, 12 minutes.
All right, like I said, just keep your parchment paper. Hello, Lexi. Just keep your parchment paper because you can bake cookies on this. All you did was roll shortbread dough. There's no sense in wasting. Don't waste. So I'm going to roll that up, and then I'm going to roll this one up, and then we're going to mix. I'm going to wipe this up, and we're going to mix up a glazed icing for on the top of the cookies. Okay. Let's put this away. Stick it here. All right. So, in this bowl, let's put this over here. Let me wipe this up. In this bowl, I have a cup of powdered sugar, and I am going to, let me get, let's see. Usually I measure this, but this is not the full recipe, so I'm not going to measure today. I'm just going to show you what I've done. Alexa, stop. Okay. I have some milk out here. So I have a cup of powdered sugar, and I'm just going to put a little bit of K-Row in here, and I mean a little, not a lot. Probably maybe a teaspoon. That looks like a teaspoon. Okay. And then I'm gonna, let's see here, what do I want? I'm gonna do, a fourth of a teaspoon of homemade vanilla. Okay? We're gonna do that. And then I'm going to use this spoon here, which is a teaspoon, and I'm going to put some milk in here. 1, 2, I'm going to start with 3. Let me get a fork. Okay. So I started with 3, and we're going to stir this up. So I'm just making like a powdered sugar icing drizzle type thing to go on top of the cookie. So that was 3. That's 4. And that's 5. 5 teaspoons. Okay? It's starting to come together. So that's 5 teaspoons of milk, 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla, and a cup of powdered sugar, and a teaspoon of K-Row. Okay, so this is too thick, so we're going to add, so that was how many I said? 4 or 5, I don't remember. That's 6, yeah, 5, 7. Let's see that. Let's see what that looks like. It broke up. So we got 7 teaspoons of milk. And it's looking like that is what we needed. Yes. If I mixed up, hello Lexi, hello Genevieve. Okay, so I think I said 7. I hope I did. I will go back and watch it and make sure, but I think it was 7. So that's what you want right there, something like that. And then we're just going to add, I don't know if I want to do pink. We'll do pink. I just want them very light. That's what we want right there. You have a good ribbon. It's like it's almost like a sugar cookie recipe type drizzle, but that's what I want for the shortbread. So, and then it will dry. It will dry. So that's what we wanted. Okay, so that's all done. Let's wipe this up. And put this over here. And let's see here. Let's get these on here. This pan's still a little warm. So shortbread cookies are not like sugar cookies. They're a little bit more delicate. Only because there's only 4 ingredients. So I'm just going to slide that off just like that. Now I'll put this away. So there they be. I didn't want to keep lifting them. And they're, so if you can see the, I don't know, this light's probably, they're just barely light on the bottom. That's how you want them. You don't want them any darker than that. You want them, and when you push on it, you can actually feel how soft they are. But that's how you want a shortbread cookie. You don't want it hard. That's exactly how you want them. Can anybody see on Facebook here? That's the color you want. You want them white and very light to the back. So they have a different taste than their taste is completely different than a sugar cookie. So we're going to turn them all facing me. And we're going to give it a few seconds, and then we're going to start icing them. And like I said, we have this is my homemade strawberry crunch. I'll post the link to it. It's very simple to make. I don't know how much you get. This is an old jelly jar, and when I make it, this jar is full. And it is good for a year probably. I will post it. You bake it on a slow bake. I'm trying to think exactly what I use. Anyhow, I know it's a box of strawberry jello, and I'll post it. I have to look it up, and once I look it up, I'll post it for you guys. But you can make it. I use this on a lot of different things. I've used it on a cake. So this year, so far, I have done a birthday cake, 2 birthday cakes with it. I did whoopie pies, where I put the crunch on the inside and crunch around the outside. I've done that twice, which I probably got 30 gobs per batch, so that was like 60 gobs, 2 full birthday cakes, and now I'm using it on these. And so it's almost time for me to make, so I'll probably make it on here, and then, but I'll post the recipe for sure. Let me get rid of this milk. I try to clean as I go, because if I don't, I have one heck of a mess when I'm done. Now I use my edible glitter spray for a lot. Hello everybody. I use my edible glitter spray, but I don't know what it would look like on these. So, because I'm going to drizzle this on top of the cookies. I'll try and see what it looks like. It probably won't give you a shine, but I also have so much stuff. I also have the pink glitter, where it might, I don't know, can you guys see that? Where it might show up just to give it a little shine. I'll just flip that in there. Actually, that's what I might do. I don't know what it would do. I wonder if I It probably won't. I was gonna say, it would probably just melt into there now. I'm not gonna do that. I was thinking about sprinkling it in my icing, but I don't think that'll work. Okay. So, we got, wow, that was a quick 12 minutes. Let's wait 1 minute, and I'm going to check these cookies and see if they're done before we start icing these, and then I'll go ahead and turn my oven off. The garbage guys are out there. So if you're just coming on, we're making shortbread cookies. I'm doing heart ones. We got 26 out of one recipe. The recipe is 1 cup of salted butter, 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, a half a teaspoon of vanilla. You put all that into your bowl, whip it up for 2 minutes where it gets really fluffy. Scrape your bowl down, add 2 cups of all-purpose flour until it gets like a crumbly. Pull it off your bowl. Don't let it come all together. You want it to look crumbly. Pull it off your bowl and get in there with your hands. Get it all combined together with your hands. Roll it between 2 pieces of parchment paper with a little flour on the bottom, a little flour on the top. Flour is your friend. And then you can cut whatever shape you want. It does not have to be what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. Alexa, stop. Okay, let me see here, guys. Now remember I said they're like touchy. I just want to lift and see if we got a little light brown. Yes, we do. Okay. And check one more. You know what? I think I'm going to put this back in for a minute. Alexa, set the timer for, we'll do 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So on the bottom of that one, I picked up one, it was brown. I picked up another one, it's not brown like these ones. The light brown.
Timer
it
for how
was
long?
as same, 2 minutes, please.
2 minutes, starting now.
So it was on the second one that I pulled up, it was the color of the front. So we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. But I'm going to watch this timer. When it gets down to 1 minute, I'm going to look again. And if it's the same way, then I'll leave it in there for the 2 minutes. If not, I'm pulling it out. With shortbread cookies, you got to watch. You only want it this color. If it gets a little darker, they're not going to be soft when you bite them. They're going to have like a crunch to them. A shortbread cookie, you should have a little bit of a softness to them. So that's exactly what you're looking for. So I'm going to go, it's got another 18 seconds, and then I'm going to check it, and then after we get these out, we're going to start with these. I'm going to start icing these. These should be cool enough to where I can start icing them. Actually, I should have put them in the refrigerator, but I didn't. That's okay. We'll wait. All right, I'm going to check. Let's check. I'll check a different one. Not yet. And it might be because this one has more on it. Or, oh, I got myself. It might be because there was more than 12 cookies on there. So there was 14, 15 on that tray. This one only had 12. So that could be the... Alexa, add 15 seconds to my timer.
15 seconds added. You now have about 30 seconds left.
Okay. I wanted to count for having the door open. Anyhow, it might be because there's more cookies on that tray than what this tray had. And I want them the same way. I want them exactly the same way. So, hello, Eric. Hi, Edith. Hi, Prince Perry. You guys gonna give me some hearts? Give me some hearts out there. Alexa, stop. All right, I'm gonna stand here for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna get it. stuff everywhere. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's shut this oven off. I'll do this tray with you guys and then we'll end the live. Hi Edith, hi Joy, hi Joyce. Okay, so I'll do this one with you guys and then I'll end the live, and I'll do those ones after the live. I don't want to keep you guys on here for like ever and a day. Although some people might like that, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to do these the same way I do my sugar cookie. I'm going to get in here with my hand. I'm just going to use my pinky. Now remember, these are going to be a little bit, need more icing. These are going to be a little bit more fragile than a sugar cookie, just so you know. So at first I didn't have enough, and I had too much. I like to do it this way because I want to make sure that I got my fingers under here. These are not like a sugar cookie. Okay. And there you have it. Now, I'm going to stop while I do that. Let me wipe my hand. And then I'm going to, I do with my measurements. Okay. Well, maybe that's not going to work. I might have to do it over the bowl. Yeah. And then tap, 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 tap. Oh, you can smell the strawberry for sure. Now let's see if this works. Oh, it does. Okay, we got a little shimmer. Why not? So there's the shortbread cookie with the strawberry crunch on the outside here, Facebook land. Would you like to see? Oh, there we go. So that's what you're going to have to do. If you make them like this, you can make them however you want. I'm going to set it here, and I'm going to get this crunch off of this parchment. And actually, what I'm going to do, now that they're cool, I'm going to bring this to my countertop. You guys see? And then the ones that I get done, I'm going to put on the stand. And we'll set that right there. Or we can put it on this tray. That'll work. Let's just set it on the tray. Okay. So we'll just keep going. We'll get this 12 done, and then I'll let you guys go. So you have to do your sprinkles right after you put this on, because if you don't, this will get hard and then it won't hold. It will not hold to the sprinkles. The sprinkles won't hold to the icing, is what I'm trying to say. So, and if my cousins are on here, they know what I'm going to say. They already know what I'm going to say. My grandma's favorite saying. Use what God gave you, your hands. Okay. So there's that one. And we're just going to hold this up. And we're going to sprinkle it. And then we're going to give it a little tap, 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 tap. And then we're going to shine it up. And that one's done. And then back to another one. Hello, everybody. Share the live. Encourage more viewers. I will share the live. I will share it. Okay. So let's get the icing on. So if you're just coming on here, these are shortbread cookies. It's 4 ingredients. You put your butter, your powdered sugar, and your vanilla. Well, you put your powdered sugar and vanilla and butter in the bowl, and you let it whip for 2 minutes. Scrape your bowl down, and then add 2 cups of flour, and then you roll it in between 2 pieces of parchment with some flour, and then you can use whatever cutter you want. I chose hearts because obviously Valentine's Day. Tap, tap, tap. A little bit of beautifulness. Glitter makes everything better. Okay. Here we are. Use your finger. Now, if you just want to make the butter cookie, some people just dust them with powdered sugar as well. You don't have to put the icing on. Some people eat them plain. It's just what they prefer. Hmm? Make sure everything's covered. Gotta make sure everything's covered. Okay, and with the crumbs. And then tap it off. And give some shine. Again. We'll get these 12 done, and then I will show you the platter. And then that little one that we got at the end, I will bring it over, I'll ice it, and that's the one I'll taste. And then, when I'm off my live, I will give one to my husband, because he's always been my taste tester for everything. And then we go back in. And then when I'm done today, I will post the picture, and I'll post the recipe for sure. There it is. All right. Just gotta get that finger going, that's all. All right. This takes the longest. That takes the longest, is doing that part. Rolling them out wasn't bad. Here you have it. Hi sis, how are you? Look at these. Don't they look delicious? They're a shortbread cookie with strawberry crunch. Okay. I have glitter all over me. That's okay. We'll wash it. It usually takes me, when I'm all done, or whatever I'm doing that day, it usually takes me an hour. It's usually an hour cleanup, the time I'm done. I had somebody ask me why, or what am I doing with all this stuff? Well, I have grandkids, so they get a lot of it, but if I have extras, I will share with the neighbors, and then I go for my infusion on Tuesday, so the girls will get a goodie bag. Here's another one. They take good care of me, so why not give them something for taking care of me, right? And we had a storm here. I was already supposed to have it, but we had a storm. And we got snow here in Myrtle Beach. So I wasn't allowed to have my treatment because they couldn't get the medicine. So they had to bump me back a week. Alright. Thank goodness I have a wet rag here. I can wipe my hands. And tap, tap. 4 more to go, guys. 4 more to go. So I did make sugar cookies on here, but they didn't last very long. But these are not sugar cookies. These are a butter cookie. Now, on my second, when I go to do my second one, I am going to leave some of them plain, which is plain icing, for my husband, because I don't think he likes strawberry crunch. The kids do. You ever had the strawberry crunch ice cream cake? Well, that's what they taste like. That's what it tastes like. It's that strawberry crunch. Tap, 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 tap. Here's another one. We're almost done. We have 3 more to go, guys. 3 more to go. And then I'll let all my people go. I've been on here for, I don't know, maybe an hour. Almost an hour, I don't know. If you like what I'm doing, give me some, oh. I had to slide a puzzle piece over. I guess because I've been on here too long. I don't know. Okay. If you like what I'm doing, give me some hearts, guys. There's some more crunch. Tap, tap, tap. And 2 more to go. Thanks for the badge, Edith. Okay, we got 2 more to go here, guys. And then I will show you what it looks like on the platter. And then I will do the other 15. After I get off. Glitter. There's that one. 1 more to go. Now, the parchment paper that I baked these on, you can reuse it because they're just a better cookie. If it was like a peanut butter cookie, something like that, you definitely wouldn't want to use it. Okay. Last cruncher. And glitter. And that's it. Okay. Let me wipe this up and I'll bring them over. Whoops. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. Fold this up so I don't get glitter everywhere. Okay. All right. Set that up there. Oops. Wipe my hand, I got a little bit of icing on my tray. Okay guys, there they are. That's 12 of them. So these are the shortbread hearts, 4 ingredients. You can use whatever cutter you want. You can use whatever you want to put on top. I just chose this. So your recipe one more time is a cup of salted butter, 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, a half teaspoon of vanilla. You put all that into your mixing bowl and let it mix for 2 minutes. Scrape down your sides, then add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Let it beat until it gets crumbly, pull it off, and then work the rest of it with your hand. You want to bake them at 325. The first pan was 12 minutes, but it only had 12 on it. The second pan we did for 14 minutes because it had 15 cookies on it, so it took a little bit longer for it to bake. So 325 for 12 to 15 minutes. You want the bottom of them to look like that, very light, very, very light, and the top is still white. The top part of the icing that I used, I put 1 cup of powdered sugar. I did about a teaspoon of Karo and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and I did 7 teaspoons of milk. And then I did 1 drop of pink food coloring. That was the icing. And then this is my homemade strawberry crunch. I will post it also in the recipe. And I put strawberry crunch on the top and then sprayed it with edible glitter. So that's today's recipe. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, Facebook. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Or I might be on later tonight with the girls. Talk to you later. Bye.